I'm Wayne and this is Tash. The farm's Peninsula Fresh Organics, that's the business name. We're in Baxter on the Mornington Peninsula, about 10-12 kilometres southeast of Frankston, and the Melbourne metropolitan boundary is about 500 metres to the north of us. Dad bought this property about 1973. It was a 5-acre block, and all the market gardens around here were just 5 or 10 acres, on 5-acre blocks. And over the years, we've sort of grouped them together, and we've sort of rented a bit of ground off the neighbours as they've retired from market gardening. So we've put together a 30-acre certified organic market garden. We've also bought another property up in southern New South Wales, just to give us a bit more scope, because you never know what will happen with governments. They could make this change the zoning here, and all of a sudden we won't be able to afford to farm if the council up the rates, or somebody comes along and offers somebody big money to put some houses here. Well, we don't have a farm, so we've got a little bit of security that way. On the farm we sort of grow probably about 25 to 30 varieties of vegetables. We do lots of different types in smaller numbers, because that helps with the farmers markets and the direct selling.
We grow for farm gate and farmers markets. We're starting to support a lot of food cooperatives now around the city.
How many people do we get at the farm gate every week? Maybe 200?
No, 200 plus. Getting up there now, around 220, 230 a week now.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for
a little
3
dirt
day
lane.
a week opening.
Little dirt lane, we get 200 people come every week, so that's good.
Well, I'm still amazed how much produce we get out of the ground. Like, you look around and thinks, it doesn't look like there's much in the ground, but we still managed to bunch a ton of kale, heaps of carrots, lettuces and things like that. We managed to fill the van every week for the markets. It's just amazing, how much hard work goes into it, and how it pays off, in the return.
Well, for us to do farmers markets, it gives us it cuts out the middleman, which gives us a bit of scope to reinvest in the farm. The big guys, and I come from that background. I worked for these guys, and I ran a conventional farm for a few years, 100 acres here, 500 acres there, and it was all about volume and very small margins. And quite often you'd be asked to supply below cost. There wasn't a lot of future in it, so when I started again, it was in my interest to cut out the middleman.
We haven't changed our prices for, I think since we started doing markets at least. Our bunches of beetroot and carrots, your big bunches of silver beet, kale, they've been consistently $4 a bunch, for the last 5 years of doing farmers markets and retail sales here. We look in the supermarkets, when we go to the supermarket, we look at their prices, and they're putting their prices up for $5.60 for a bunch of silver beet, and it's not even organic. Who knows how old it is and how long it's been sitting on the shelf. It's just, I think it's pretty good that we've been able to maintain our prices and keep our prices, below the competition, and competitive.
Yep.
With consumers. People will still pick up a bunch of silver beet and say $4, that's crazy, but I don't think when they look at a supermarket they don't tend to not see the prices and not look at the prices, because they just automatically assume that the supermarket will be cheaper.
The Mornington Peninsula Council have pretty well stated that they're committed to having a agricultural sector in their shire, and basically we have a right to farm, and obviously we use compost, and that can be a bit pungent at times, but that's always been the way it has been for conventional and organic growers. But so I've put it to them. I said, well, what's the story there? And they said, well, you were here first, you've been doing it forever, don't worry about it. So that's a big thing. And a mate of mine who's growing in Ballarat, his council basically shut him down from doing that. Would not allow him to spread any compost at all, and he has less neighbours than us. So that's the sort of support you can get or not get, because we're in a green wedge here, but there's always talk about it changing, and that all comes back to the state government, I think. So the destiny's in what they decide. The minute they say this is no longer a green wedge and want to leave it open to subdivision, well, the rents around here will become unmanageable and the rates will become unmanageable, and we'll just have to move. Hence buying the property in New South Wales. We'd much rather farm close by. So I mean, clear benefits. It's a beautiful climate for vegetable growing, particularly in the summer. It's not as hot as anywhere else. Easy to get labour, a lot easier than other. New South Wales is a nightmare. Good infrastructure, you know, we're 5 kilometres, 3 or 4 kilometres from a freeway, which will take us to wherever. And we're so close to the markets, and the amount of customers that'll come to us because we're so close to them. The infrastructure's there for it.